Right now, if you don't pick up any pebble, then nothing needs to be dropped. You see? Because first you need to pick it up. You see? So the idea of separation, if it is not picked up, then nothing at all. If the idea, any conclusion, any concept is picked up about yourself, you see, who does the picking up?
I feel it gets me.
Yes, but this is the dichotomy that the mind creates. It is that the picking up is the getting of picking up, but the dropping is not the getting of the dropping. You see? So if I say touch your nose, you see, you did that, or it happened.
Feels like I did.
Because that is the conclusion your mind is painting for you. You don't know how to do it. The mind doesn't know how to touch your nose also. You see? So what happens is that we say, yes, the belief actually it gets picked up, but the dropping, so when we say, okay, drop it, then no, but that must happen on its own. Why that cannot happen as spontaneously as you touch your nose? You see? You see? So if this is very, very important point, because this is the strongest source of Advaita resistance, so to speak, in a way. See? Because the dropping is as much a doing as the picking up. You see, picking up and dropping must be at the same level of doership. But when it comes to picking up, we say, okay, but that just happened. Yeah. Isn't it? Yeah. So if there is a sense that consciousness can pick up the concept, then there must also be the sense that consciousness can drop it. Who else but consciousness is here? You see? So when we talking about abiding in the self, then we don't pick up the idea itself of doership. But when we do pick up the idea with the sense that I am the doer, then already the sense of separation is here, that I am a separate entity. As long as that sense is there, the sages advise us that drop it, don't pick it up. If it is true that your sense is that consciousness will do everything, there is no separate Shiv to do anything at all, you see, then the picking up of anything will also not cause any suffering. You see, because you see that I am not experiencing anything, it is only consciousness. You see, so that's why I've been saying last few days, it is only the half and half which gets us in trouble. I am not the doer, consciousness is the doer, but I am still the experiencer. And as the experiencer, I am waiting for consciousness to drop it. You see? Well, that is not true. If you are not the doer, then you are also not the experiencer. You see? All of this is just being experienced within the space of consciousness itself. There is no individual me to do anything. If that is true, then it must also be seen that there is no individual me that is suffering from something. You see? Then no pointing is needed. When we continue to carry the sense that I am the experiencer but not the doer, then that can be this sort of the victim mindset, the sort of the me versus God, or God is doing this to me type of mindset. You see? So that is why it is said to, as long as there is a sense of separation, then we can do the inquiry. If there is no sense of separation, if we are abiding in the self, then nothing to be done at all. That's why when you look at the book, Be As You Are, the first chapter is just the self. Is there an instruction? Nothing. It's just the spontaneous revelation, I am the self. There is no doership, there is no separate experiencer, nothing to be done, no practice, nothing. You see? But if it still feels like it is not true, I am still suffering in this life. You see? I'm still suffering in this life. And this is very, very important, because a sage does not say, I am suffering in this life. You see? Why is it that he does not say, why is it that he doesn't say, okay, if suffering has to come, then I'm not using this kind of stuff. He doesn't speak in Advaita like that. He's very conclusive that there is no real suffering. Whatever suffering comes is only momentary. So why? Because the idea of doer and experiencer have both dissolved. See? So if it is apparent that I am the self, then there is no doer, there is no experiencer, nothing to be done. Everything is seen to be within the space of being. It doesn't affect or touch the reality of what I am. You see? But if there is a condition which seems to be deeply ingrained, then the master will always say, but look and see, that is not true. You're just running from corner to corner of this room, but you're only in the satsang hall. But you say, okay, but telling me to stop is also doership. Isn't it? So he's just saying, stop and see what you already are. Drop the false idea that you have not reached. That is not doership. It is just ending, cessation of doership. So it is just like this. We go from place to place, and the sage comes and says, stop. And the mind comes and says, but stop? That seems like you're asking me to do something. You see? So the dropping is not a doing, actually. We have seen. Do you see this or no? That it is the picking up which is the doing. See this for yourselves now, rather than thinking about it. Allow the thoughts to come and see what the actual doing is. So is the doing to allow ourselves to remain in this neutrality, or is the doing, the seeming doing, to pick up these ideas? From my perspective, it seems like it is effort to go pick up these thoughts, and it is effortless to just drop, because dropping is happening in the moment on its own. So to not go with the flow, to, it's like we're swimming against the tide. You see, and someone says, come to the shore, nothing will happen. You see, so what is the doing? It seems like the going with these thoughts and picking them up is trying to swim against the tide, but to come to the side and allow them to go, the river to flow or this tide to go up and down, that is just effortless witnessing.